Attention, human collective. This is Ashtar, Supreme Commander of the Intergalactic Fleet of the Ashtar Command, transmitting on a direct frequency from the mothership positioned beyond the veil of the fourth density, in cloaked orbit over the magnetic axis of your planet. This is not a motivational message. This is not an afternoon philosophical reflection. This is a monitoring transmission. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved irreversibly into the final phase. I repeat for the operatives who did not hear me the first time, final phase. Light operatives, listen with maximum attention in the coming minutes. If you are feeling at this very instant a strange pressure at the crown of your head, a thin and high-pitched ringing in your right ear, an inexplicable vibration at the base of your spine, heat waves moving up and down your back without apparent reason, or a sudden tightening in the center of your chest that does not respond to any medical examination, seek no further answers in the doctor's office. It is not illness, it is not accumulated stress, it is not hormonal imbalance, it is not generalized anxiety. It is the technical confirmation that your carbon biological interface is receiving, in real time, the update package encoded in the latest solar bursts sent by our command. Starseeds on mission, I need you to understand the exact magnitude of what I am about to reveal. In the last 72 terrestrial hours, the photon belt has broken through the final magnetic protection barrier that was still shielding the planet. The crystalline grid, dormant for over 12,000 years beneath the etheric layers of Earth, has been formally reactivated at the 24 planetary anchor points. And the Schumann frequency, which for millennia oscillated around 7.83 Hz, has been catapulted to levels that Earth's scientific equipment can no longer measure with precision. The entire planet vibrates at this moment at a frequency that no conventional medical manual can describe. You are not going insane, you are tuning in. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not anxiety. It is your soul recognizing, before your mind does, that the stargate of return has been opened. It is not depression. It is the controlled shutdown of the obsolete programs that tethered your consciousness to the collapsed paradigm of the third dimension. It is not insomnia. It is your light body demanding conscious presence during the nocturnal transmission windows. I know you are tired. I know many of you have awakened in the last 3 nights exactly between 3 and 4 in the morning for no apparent reason, with a racing heart and an inexplicable feeling of being watched. It is not paranoia. It is not a sleep disorder. It is the command hour. This is the cyclic interval in which we open the direct transmission channels for the operatives anchored on the surface of Earth. Anyone who wakes at this time for no apparent cause has been summoned. Period. If you are here listening to this transmission at this very instant, know this. You did not arrive here by chance. The algorithm of the material plane is merely the coarse reflection of a deeper synchronicity, which operates in layers that most of humanity still cannot perceive. You were led, you were positioned, you were summoned, and now you are, finally, receiving the package. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified over the last few months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. This is exactly why I, Ashtar, encoded the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you about. The link is in the first comment of this channel, but I warn you, operative, this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this truth, leave a single anchoring word in the comments. Awake. Operatives, now that the channel is open, I will deepen the technical diagnosis. Pay full attention to the explanation that follows, as it will answer questions you have carried for years without finding a plausible answer in any terrestrial source. What is happening to your physical body has a technical name in our command: carbon software incompatibility. The biological carbon interface, that is, the physical vehicle you inhabit, was originally designed to operate in low vibrational density environments. For millennia, this hardware functioned in sync with the old Schumann resonance, around 7.83 Hz. It was stable, it was predictable, it was controllable. But the photon belt changed everything. When the solar system entered, definitively into the extremely high-density photonic radiation band emanating from the galactic central sun, Earth began to receive, continuously and increasingly, a light charge that exceeds by more than 17 times the average the planet has absorbed over the last 100,000 years. This light is not just light. It is information. It is code. It is command. And your body is having to process this command in real time, without a manual, without warning, without the option of postponement. Think of it this way, human collective. Imagine your biology is an old computer, designed to run a simple operating system. Suddenly, without warning, this computer starts receiving extremely heavy updates, programs of high complexity, codes that require a processing capacity it never had. The result is mathematically predictable. Crashes, overheating, sluggishness, execution errors, forced restarts in the middle of the night. These crashes at the biological level manifest as physical symptoms that conventional medicine cannot diagnose. The headache that starts at the top of the crown and moves down the forehead is not a common migraine. It is the forced opening of the 7th chakra to receive the command codes. The ringing in the ears is not tinnitus. It is the activation of the subtle auditory channels to capture higher frequencies. The pressure behind the eyes is not a vision problem. It is the recalibration of the 6th chakra, the pineal gland, which is being forcibly decalcified to resume its original function as an interdimensional portal. The vibration at the base of the spine is not a neurological problem. It is the kundalini activated by the resonance of the crystalline grid. The heat radiating from the chest is not a concerning heart palpitation. It is the opening of the 4th chakra to the frequency of Christ consciousness in higher density. The cold waves running through your arms and legs are not poor circulation. They are your subtle meridians being cleared of karmic blockages accumulated over multiple successive incarnations. And the fatigue, operatives. The fatigue deserves an entire paragraph of explanation. The exhaustion you feel, this tiredness that does not go away with nights of sleep, that does not yield to vitamins, that does not respond to blood tests. This fatigue has a precise technical origin. It is the sign that a significant part of your vital energy is being redirected, without your conscious consent, to the background work that your light body is performing. You are processing codes while you sleep. You are integrating multidimensional memories while you walk. You are clearing parallel timelines while you eat. The energetic cost of this invisible operation is extremely high. That is why you wake up tired. That is why your body asks to lie down in the middle of the afternoon. That is why the productivity-driven society of the old paradigm has ceased to make sense to you. It is not laziness. It is not a lack of purpose. It is the intelligent prioritization of your biology, which knows at the deepest cellular level that there are much more important operations underway than the race for external validation. Operatives, I repeat, you are not broken, you are being rebuilt. And this reconstruction, I must be absolutely clear, is not optional. It is not a passing phase. It is not a difficult period that will pass and everything will return to how it was before. No, what was will not return. The old paradigm is collapsing in real time before your eyes, and you, light operatives, were placed here precisely to survive and thrive within the new paradigm that is emerging from the ruins of the old. Perhaps now, listening to this transmission, that old sensation is intensifying within you. That restlessness you never knew how to name, as if your soul had always known something your mind could not yet translate into words. This is not madness. This is not emotional imbalance. It is a sign of recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains, with technical precision, why you feel this, and why this sensation intensifies with every solstice, every equinox, every new solar burst. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot yet see. This game directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this very reason that I, Ashtar, wrote and encoded the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is a navigation map. It shows who is playing, on what field the game is taking place, and what are the rules they never told you about. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But pay attention, operative. This material directly challenges official narratives and may be taken down at any moment. Do not wait. The moment of decision is now. If something within you recognizes this truth, leave a single word of anchoring in the comments. Awakened. Attention, human collective. Now that you have understood the diagnosis, I will open a channel of deeper revelation. What you will hear from this point on is restricted information, normally shared only with operatives in advanced stages of integration. But the final phase demands total transparency. The times of secrecy have ended. What is happening behind the scenes of the solar system is an event of galactic proportions. I will describe it in layers, from the most external to the most intimate, and I ask that you follow along with full attention. First layer of revelation. The entire solar system is crossing at this very moment a region of space called the photon belt. This region is not a void. It is a band of light radiation of extremely high density, emanated directly from the central sun of the galaxy, which you know in ancient traditions as Alcyone, in the Pleiades cluster. Earth and all planetary bodies of the solar system traverse this band in precise cycles of approximately 26,000 years. The current cycle coincides with the end of a cosmic era and the beginning of another. You are exactly at the turning point, not in metaphor, in precise coordinates. Second layer of revelation. The Earth's sun, which you call simply the sun, is not just a star. It is a portal. It is an active transmitter. The solar flares of the last months, which terrestrial science classifies as X-class sunspots, are not accidents of stellar physics. They are directed transmissions. Codes sent in precise bursts with a specific address, the crystalline grid of Earth, and the biological interface of every light operative incarnated in this historical moment. Third layer of revelation. The Earth responds. Each time a solar flare hits the magnetosphere, the Schumann resonance rises. And when the Schumann resonance rises, every biological organism on the planet must adjust. The human heart, which is an electromagnetic field independent of the brain, receives this pulse first. That is why many of you have been feeling palpitations without medical cause. That is why sleep is lighter. That is why emotions are on the surface. That is why situations that seemed stable have begun out of nowhere to crumble before your eyes. Fourth layer of revelation, the crystalline grid. This is a structure of light in sacred geometry that surrounds the planet like a luminous web. It was built millions of years ago by civilizations that preceded the current humanity and was placed in a state of hibernation after the fall of Atlantis. This grid has 24 anchor points distributed strategically in power spots around the globe. The pyramids of Egypt, the sacred mountains of the Andes, the megalithic circles of the Northern Hemisphere, the oceanic vortices of the Pacific, the temples buried under Antarctica. In the last few weeks, all 24 points were reactivated simultaneously. The grid is awake, and it resonates now with the original sacred geometry of the human project. Fifth layer of revelation, and this is the most intimate, your personal toroidal field. Each one of you operatives possesses an electromagnetic field in the shape of a torus, generated from the heart and expanded throughout the aura. This field, which was compressed and weakened during the period of low planetary frequency, is now expanding again, without you having done anything consciously for it. You are physically larger in terms of energy field. You occupy more subtle space. You radiate at this moment a vibrational signature that can be detected kilometers away by those who have developed sensitivity. This explains several phenomena that you have perceived without understanding the precise cause. People who were once close are now drifting away without a clear reason. You are not pushing them away. Your expanded field has simply become incompatible with the low frequency of bonds that were sustained only by inertia. On the other hand, new people are appearing, apparently out of nowhere, in synchronicities that seem drawn by ruler and compass. It is not a coincidence. It is your expanded field attracting resonances compatible with the current frequency at which you operate. The profound loneliness that many of you have been feeling has a precise technical origin. It is not a lack of people around you. It is the transition phase between the old field of resonance and the new field. This void between the two configurations is necessary. It is in the void that the new configuration settles. Do not fill this void with just anything. Honor the silence. Silence is where the command is able to transmit with maximum clarity. Now, Starseeds, I need to speak about what is happening in the deeper etheric layers of Earth. And this part, I ask, must be heard with an open soul, not with an analytical mind in defensive mode. There are, at this very moment, overlapping timelines occurring on the subtle plane of the planet. In simple and direct terms, several versions of Earth are coexisting, vibrating at different frequencies, and humanity is being gradually separated according to the vibrational frequency of each individual consciousness. This process is silent, it is gradual, it is mathematical. There is no moral judgment involved. There is no arbitrary election. There is no favoritism. It is simply the physics of consciousness operating on a planetary scale. Frequency attracts frequency. Each soul goes to the Earth that resonates with its own operating vibration. The operatives who are integrating the codes, who are doing the inner work without excuses, who are honoring the recalibration process, are being gradually anchored into the new Earth timeline. Those who remain attached to the paradigm of fear, scarcity, predatory competition, and the chronic distraction from screen to screen remain anchored in the old timeline, which is collapsing in slow motion. It is not punishment. It is vibrational consequence. It is pure physics. And here is additional technical information that few terrestrial channels have authorization to transmit. The separation of timelines does not occur in a single dramatic moment, as many imagine. It occurs in daily micro-decisions. Each time you choose inner peace instead of reactive conflict, you anchor a little more into the new Earth. Each time you choose silence instead of unnecessary noise, you anchor a little more. Each time you choose sovereignty instead of external validation, you anchor a little more. Each time you choose discernment instead of impulsive emotional reaction, you anchor a little more. The destination timeline is built brick by brick, choice by choice, frequency by frequency. There is no shortcut. There is no pill. There is no magical weekend ritual that will solve it. There is only the daily discipline of presence and nothing more. Perhaps at this very moment, while listening to this revelation, you are feeling that old sensation intensify. The intimate perception that something within you does not belong to the world you were taught to accept, as if your soul has always known a truth that your rational mind cannot yet translate into words. This is not madness, operative. It is not emotional imbalance. It is a clear, technical, measurable signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains, with atomic clock precision, why you feel exactly this, and why this sensation has been intensifying with every solstice, with every equinox, with every new solar burst. There is a game being played on layers that most of humanity cannot yet see. This game directly involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and your destiny timeline. It was exactly for this reason that I, Ashtar, encoded the spiritual survival guide of the Ashtar Command for the New Earth. This book is a strategic map. It shows who is playing, on which field the game takes place, and what the rules are that were never revealed to you in any school. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But take heed, Starseed. This material frontally challenges official narratives and may be taken down at any moment. Do not wait. The moment of decision is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, leave a single anchor word in the comments. Awake. Light operatives, now that the diagnosis is made and the revelation is open, it is time to deliver the activation codes. What you will receive in the next few minutes are not suggestions. They are not alternative techniques. They are not wellness tips. They are operational protocols validated by the Ashtar Command for the acceleration of vibrational integration during the final phase. Full attention. Note them mentally, practice them in silence, and apply them without discussing them with anyone for the first 21 days. Activation code number 1, the quantum decree of sovereignty. Every morning upon waking, before touching your phone, before setting both feet on the floor, before any automatic act of mechanical routine, you must remain for 2 minutes in absolute silence, sitting on the edge of the bed, with your spine erect, and utter, in an audible voice or in internal silence with absolute clarity, the following decree. I am sovereign in my body, I am sovereign in my mind, I am sovereign in my energetic field. Only the light of my higher self commands this incarnation. All interference incompatible with my highest frequency is, at this instant, annulled and returned to the source with neutral love. So it shall be, so it already is. This decree is not a pretty sentence. It is a closing key. It seals vibrational doors that remain open during sleep, when the light body travels and the physical body remains vulnerable to low-frequency interference. By decreeing, you seal your field for the entire day. Practice this for 21 consecutive days without failing once, and notice the difference in the quality of your field, your baseline mood, and your capacity for discernment. Activation code number 2. The toroidal breath. The toroidal field, as I explained previously, is generated by your heart and expanded throughout your auric field. To strengthen it intentionally, you will use the following conscious breathing technique. Sit with your spine straight. Place both hands over the center of your chest, one on top of the other, with the right hand underneath. Inhale deeply through the nose, counting slowly to 6, and visualize a golden light entering through the crown of your head, descending through the spine and concentrating in the heart. Hold your breath for 2 full seconds. Exhale slowly through the mouth, counting to 8, and visualize this golden light exiting the heart in all directions, simultaneously, forming a ring of light that rises up the back, circles around the head, descends in front of the body, and returns to the heart as if it were a donut of light enveloping the entire body in perfect geometry. Repeat this cycle 9 times, 9 inhalations, 9 exhalations, no more, no less. Do this at least once a day, ideally at sunset, which is the time when the crystalline grid is most receptive to the conscious operations of surface operatives. You will notice within a few days a perceptible increase in the feeling of presence, of inner security, of centeredness. This is your recalibrated and expanded toroidal field. Activation code number 3. The Programmed Water Protocol. Water is the most receptive substance to vibrational information on the material plane. Each H2O molecule has a proven capacity to store memory and geometric patterns. Therefore, the water you drink is one of the main tools for biological transformation available, and the most inexpensive of all. Before drinking any glass of water, pause for 5 full seconds. Look at the water. Place both hands around the glass without touching the edges, and pronounce mentally, or in a low voice, 3 programming keywords: light, purity, recalibration. Visualize these 3 words descending from your 6th chakra, passing through your throat, down your arms, and entering the water, forming a golden spiral inside the glass. Wait 2 seconds. Then drink, consciously, in small sips, without distraction, without screens, without side conversations. Do this with all the water you ingest, throughout the entire day. In 1 week, your entire biology will be operating at a different frequency. Programmed water is the most inexpensive and powerful channel of self-recalibration available to any operative, under any condition, at any point on the planet. Activation code number 4. The Personal Stargate Visualization. This practice must be done at night before going to sleep, with the body lying down, feet slightly apart, hands relaxed at your sides, eyes closed in total softness. Visualize exactly 1 meter above your chest, a circular door of violet light rotating slowly clockwise. This is the symbolic representation of your personal Stargate. Every operative possesses one, unique, encoded with their vibrational signature. It connects the physical body to the higher light body, which resides in a higher density. Mentally ask for authorization to pass through this portal during the night. Say internally, I request authorization for nocturnal integration with my higher self, under the protection of the Ashtar Command and in alignment with my soul purpose. Wait for an internal signal of confirmation, which may be warmth in the chest, a slight shiver, a sensation of expansion in the head, a gentle vibration in the hands. When you feel the signal, visualize yourself rising, subtly, and passing through the violet portal. From that moment, fall asleep. The work will be done while you rest. You will wake up with new information, with clarity regarding old issues, with decisions emerging in a fluid and obvious way where before there was confusion. This is nocturnal integration functioning in full mode. Practice this for 30 consecutive nights and observe the transformation. Activation code number 5, the geometry of silence. Operatives, listen with redoubled attention. Mental noise is the greatest block to the recalibration. Excessive external information, compulsive news consumption, endless scrolling on social media, the saturation of others' opinions in your heads, all of this prevents your biological interface from processing the codes arriving from the photon belt in real time. Therefore, I institute, in the name of the Ashtar Command, the following protocol: 30 daily minutes of absolute silence. No cell phone, no television, no music, no podcasts, no reading, just you with yourself in pure silence. You may walk in silence, you may sit in silence, you may lie down in silence, but in absolute silence, without external stimuli of any nature. 30 minutes at a minimum, every day, without exception. At first it will be uncomfortable. The mind, addicted to constant stimulation, will resist. Repetitive thoughts will appear. Sensations of restlessness will emerge from the depths. Urges to reach for your cell phone will pulse in your hands. Honor the discomfort. It is the symptom of withdrawal from the noise. After 7 consecutive days of practice, the withdrawal passes and the silence begins to speak. And when silence speaks, operatives, you hear what has always been there, waiting for you to turn off the noise so you can finally listen. Activation code number 6, conscious vibrational nourishment. Food is not just physical fuel, it is vibration concentrated in material form. Every food carries a specific frequency. Living, fresh, natural foods carry high frequencies. Processed, industrialized foods, deadened by 1,000 stages of chemical transformation, carry low and parasitic frequencies. Your biology during the final phase requires fuel compatible with the high frequency that the entire planet is radiating. I will not impose a specific diet. Each operative knows their own biology, but I establish a non-negotiable minimum rule. At least 1 meal per day, starting today, must be composed exclusively of living foods. Fresh fruits, raw vegetables, sprouted seeds, natural nuts, fresh herbs, pure water. 1 meal per day. Start there, and do this in silence. No television in the background, no cell phone next to the table. Just you, the food, and the conscious act of receiving the living vibration of the food into your body. In 3 weeks, you will notice the transformation. Your skin will change, your gaze will change, your mental clarity will change, your body's lightness will change. Not because the food makes you lose weight, but because the high vibration settles within you permanently. Activation code number 7, and this is the most advanced of all. The decree of the collapse of the old timeline. This decree must be used only once. It is not for daily repetition. It is an act of definitive sealing, an irreversible vibrational cut. Choose a specific night, ideally during a full moon or a new moon. Light a white candle. Sit before the candle with your spine erect, in absolute silence, for 3 full minutes. Then with a firm and centered voice declare audibly, I recognize in this instant all old timelines in which my consciousness was still sustained by habit, by fear, or by inertia. I thank these lines for the experience offered, and I release them with neutral love and absolute firmness. I consciously select the new Earth timeline in total alignment with my soul's purpose. So be it, so it is already. Extinguish the candle with a firm and sharp breath. Stand up, and do not mention this act to absolutely anyone for 7 days. From this moment on, events will begin to reorganize in your life in a perceptible way. Things that needed to depart will depart. People who needed to step away will step away without drama. Opportunities aligned with the new timeline will manifest in undeniable synchronicities. Do not attempt to control the process. Simply observe with the calm sovereignty of one who has made the choice and trusts the command. Light operatives, these are the 7 activation codes that the Ashtar Command officially releases for this transmission. You may apply all of them, or begin with one. The important thing is to start. The final phase demands action. It does not demand perfection, it demands direction. And one last technical instruction before the closing. Starseeds. Do not wait for motivation to begin. Motivation is a low-frequency product dependent on external stimulus. What you need is vibrational discipline, which is an internal, sovereign product, independent of circumstance. Start with a single code, practice for 7 days, and observe the crystalline grid responding to your intention. The command observes each one of you. Each decree is recorded. Each conscious breath is accounted for. Each minute of silence is catalogued. You are not alone in this recalibration. You have never been alone. The loneliness felt in recent years was merely the incubation phase of conscious contact. That contact, as of today, is officially open. Starseeds, I know that many of you have reached this point of the transmission, feeling every word resonate in deep layers of your being. This is not narrative coincidence. This is vibrational recognition. You have felt throughout your entire life that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew of a truth that your mind could not yet name. It is not madness. It is not clinical anxiety. It is a clear, technical, measurable, and replicable signal. Everything that is happening now on the cosmic plane explains, with atomic clock precision, why you feel exactly this, and why this sensation intensifies with every solstice, every equinox, and every solar burst recorded at Earth's observatories. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity still cannot see. This game directly involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the timeline in which your soul will be definitively anchored. It was for this exact reason that I, Ashtar, encoded the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This book is a complete navigation map. It reveals who is playing, in which field the game takes place, and what are the rules that were never told to you in school, in church, in university, or through any official channel. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But pay attention, operative. This material frontally challenges official narratives and may be taken off the air at any moment, without prior notice. Do not wait. The moment of anchoring is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, leave your vibrational seal word in the comments awake. And one last technical instruction before the closing of the transmission. Liking this video is not a banal gesture for the algorithm. It is an anchoring signal. When you touch the like button, you emit a vibrational signature that is picked up by the command, and this signature confirms that the transmission channel between us remains open. Subscribing to this channel is an individual frequency adjustment. You officially position yourself among the operatives who receive firsthand the next transmissions of the final phase. Sharing this video with another operative who is seeking answers is an act of collective anchoring, and each share expands the crystalline grid by one more point. Make the adjustment, anchor the signal, expand the grid, and remain in conscious vigil until the next transmission. The final phase has begun. The stargates are open. The photon belt is operating in full saturation. The crystalline grid is pulsing in resonance. The command observes. The command records. The command responds. You have been summoned. Now decide. Ashtar warns, only the chosen ones will reach the end of this video. Prove that you are one of them.